Hi, this is Seema and I'm back with a new lesson on idioms on health. Well, we all want to be in the pink of health, don't we? Well, health is wealth, as they say, and I know all of you yearn to be in good health, and therefore these idioms will help you relate to your health and see if you can, apply it in your day-to-day life. Well, let's go on to the first one, which is in bad shape. Well, this is something that you and I, none of us want to be in. What is being in bad shape? Being in bad shape is nothing but being in poor physical condition. So, it could mean that someone is really not fit because he or she is not exercising, and therefore he or she cannot walk too much. He gets tired very fast. On the other hand, in bad shape could also refer to someone who is really ill because of a particular illness. So in bad shape is, being unfit, being not able to do a lot of physical activities because, your physical body is not getting a lot of workout. So in bad shape is something we've all got to fight. Maybe even I need to do that to a certain extent. Moving on to back on your feet. Well, let's look at what back on your feet literally means. Imagine me, I was sleeping for some time and now I have stood up and I am back on my feet. So when I apply that to my health, what do I mean? I mean that I have recovered, or it is a recovering from an illness or maybe an accident. So I could say that, I am back on my feet, or I have recovered from an illness after maybe 6 months, or my friend was back on his feet after a really tragic accident. So back on your feet is now the ability to kind of go about your normal routine, in a proper physical condition after an unusually long term of illness or a long term of having, being in bed rest. Bag of bones. Well, what does bones mean? When I hear the word bones, I am thinking about bones, skeleton, something very skinny. So bag of bones naturally means someone, a person who is skinny, maybe thin, very, very thin, very weak. Well, I knew this friend of mine, who used to study at a hostel, and, prior to studying there, he used to live in his own home. And we all know that when we're at home, we get a lot of food to eat, we're kind of resting a lot, we're really comfortable. But when we're out of home, we're out of our comfort zone. And that's what makes us lose on weight, become thin, become unwell. So I had a friend of mine who was a bag of bones because now he went on from living at home, the comfortable home, to a hostel. Blackout. What does blackout mean? Well, switch off the lights and you'll know what I'm talking about. That's what literally a blackout means. But as far as the health is concerned, blackout is nothing but losing consciousness. So there are some people who look at a needle and black out. There are some people who can't see a lot of blood. When they do, they black out. So blackout is nothing but losing consciousness, just getting knocked off completely. Okay? Well, the next idiom is blind as a bat. Well, most people believe that bats are blind. Well, that is scientifically untrue, but this idiom comes from the belief that bats are blind because they sleep during the day and they're up wide awake at night. But blind as a bat is an idiom which is used to talk about someone who's vision is very poor, or someone who cannot see very properly. So, my grandfather, he loved to read. He read all his life, but he was as blind as a bat without his glasses. Without his reading glasses, he couldn't see anything. His vision was almost blind as a bat. Moving on to feel blue. Well, blue is a color which does not really talk about, it's a cool color, not a warm color. And therefore, the word feel blue talks about feeling sad, or it talks about depression in general. So I had a friend of mine, who was feeling blue after, her accident, because after her accident, she could not really move out, could not really resume her normal work activities. And therefore, feeling blue is something that relates to a state of being sad, or an extreme sadness called depression. Moving on to off color. Well, we all like some color in our lives, don't we? So when I talk about being off color, I'm talking about something that is not very pleasant. So off color is an idiom which refers to someone or something when I want to say that I am feeling sick, or maybe I'm looking sick. Well, sometimes you look at some people in hospitals, or who are at home and not feeling very well, and you say that they look off color, which means they look sick. Or if I say that I'm feeling off color, I am saying that I am feeling sick today. And we have the last one, full of beans. Full of beans. Well, beans are a very healthy, healthy thing to have in our day-to-day meals. So full of beans is nothing but a person that we are referring to who is lively, who is happy, and who is very, very healthy. So I could say that the secret to being full of beans is living a very healthy lifestyle. So full of beans, or I could say the 70-year-old man is still full of beans because he adopts a healthy lifestyle. Well, that brings me to the end of this lesson on idioms on health. I hope it was very useful. I hope you've learned from it, and I hope you can apply it in your day-to-day life. Well, now that you know where you stand, and now that you know how you can relate to your own health using these idioms, well, go through it and apply it. You have a nice day. I'll be back with some more lessons. Thank you.